everybody, it's Frankie-Lou coming to you today from the Grow To Gather Homestead. Once again, I'm talking about something that isn't super thrilling to Angus, so I'm doing this one on my own. It is super thrilling to me though, and that is radishes. Okay, I know that doesn't sound very thrilling, but radishes are far more than a little root vegetable that you're going to chop up and put into your salad. In fact, I don't use the roots at all. Let me show you here. I have a lovely bunch of radishes here, interplanted with some other things, and they're getting nice and juicy and red and look like what most people would be pulling at this time. But not me, because I think that's a wasted opportunity. Yes, they are very yummy, but they serve far more purposes here on our homestead than just something that I'm going to put in salad. I use them as a very valuable companion plant for my squash and several other plants as well. And you can see here, I have got, this is one of my squash plants, and I've done some interplanting with squash, coming up vertically growing with beans and sunflowers and stuff in here. But this plant here, this big, tall, straggly thing with a pink flower, well, pinky purple flowers, this is a radish that has gone to seed. And it is an awesome companion plant for my squash bugs for multiple reasons. Number one, it attracts, it repels the old squash beetle. Okay, so that's something I want to do. I want to keep squash beetles away. I don't use any pesticides. I do use radish flowers. Now, the thing that it does attract are pollinators. I very rarely have to self-pollinate any of my plants, even here in the greenhouse. I leave lots of ventilation. I leave the doors open, the upper doors open most of the time. But the other thing I do is I plant a ton of pollinator-friendly plants in my greenhouse with my other plants. And one of the things that I do is this lovely radish flower. Now, I know it looks a little straggly. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but the individual blossoms are really quite nice, and they're also edible. Now, you could eat them. They're tasty. They taste like radish, but if you wait a little longer, you're going to get an amazing harvest of radish pods. Now, I'm going to take you to another place in the garden where I can show you where they're a little bit further along, still not quite ready to harvest, but you can see what's going on. And here we go. Okay, you can see here that there's quite an abundant number of flowers sitting in this pot. And this is actually, what you're looking at is mostly 2 radishes, just 2, okay? And this plant is not even halfway through producing what it's going to produce. If I do a little zoom up here, you can see this one here. Okay, it's got its nice flowers, and as we go down the stems, you see these? These are radish pods. Those are going to thicken up. They're going to be about half the size of a snap pea when they're done, and have the texture of a snap pea, and they'll have the flavor of a radish. So it's really cool. From one radish, oh, here's one that's really almost ready. In fact, I'm going to eat that. Yep, that's ready to go. Okay, delicious. And you're going to get from one measly radish root, you're going to get hundreds by the time each of these plants are far along of these great little pods. Awesome for stir fries, and I'm going to show you another way that I use them as well over here. Okay, so here's that little radish pod. I think you can hear how crunchy it is. Wish you could taste how delicious it is. Honestly, I never eat radish roots anymore. It really is a waste to me because I absolutely love those radish pods. My favorite way to use them though, because I'm kind of a crazy canning lady. Yeah, I admit it. I do hundreds of jars every year. It's a bit of an obsession, but that's okay. And one of my favorite things to pickle are the radish pods. Okay, you can see there, I've got them in a nice little brine. I'm also a bit competitive about my canning, and every year at the county fair, these do really well because people are like, what the heck is that thing? And it's delicious. Imagine, it's just so good. Briny, crunchy, sweet, well, sour, sweet, yummy, yummy deliciousness with that little hint of horseradish flavor. I use these on charcuterie trays all the time, and people go crazy for them. They are so good, and I've done so much with this before to protect my garden and to attract pollinators before I even get to harvest it. So don't pick your radish roots, people. Let it go. Okay, I know everybody gets really upset when their radishes get woody, and that can happen. These don't get woody until they're like fallen off. Okay, so you'll have so many opportunities to pick these. Like I said, with one radish you're gonna get hundreds of pots. I probably did about 40 jars of pickles last year, and they're mostly gone because people love them, and I give them away and I barter and I trade with them. People love this stuff, so give it a try. Okay, I'm sure you have somewhere in your garden some radishes that maybe look like they're being attacked by bugs or something. Just leave a few and you'll see what I mean. Come a month or so when they're flowering, you're going to notice an increase in your bees, and I hope you will try these because they are so good. All right, so that's it for today. Please don't hesitate to ask any questions about this or any of the other things that you see here on our channel. I hope that you subscribe so that you can learn more about some of the things. I'm going to be doing all sorts of videos about all sorts of stuff coming up real soon. I know Angus wants to do another one on diatomaceous earth, and we're going to have some honey harvesting ones very soon. So do subscribe if you're interested in any of this stuff. And as we always say, I hope you take this chance to grow together today. Have a good one, everyone.